All right, good evening. Let's go ahead and get our standing committee meetings underway. We have some additional meetings tonight, so we'll take care of our standing committee business, I think in fairly short order. My name's Melissa Bynum. I'm the at-large District 1 Commissioner for the Unified Government and currently the Chair of Public Works and Safety Standing Committee. Before I call our meeting to order, I want to announce that some committee members, staff, and public are attending remotely via Zoom as well as on site. And all participants joining by phone should mute phones when not speaking to avoid background noise. Please make sure you announce yourself by name and title when you speak so the public knows who's speaking. And this is also critical given the number of remote participants that we might have. It's also our guidance from the Arkansas Attorney General. And the public is allowed to participate by Zoom or submit comments by email prior to our meeting. And those comments are included in the record of our meeting. Public can also indicate their intent to provide remote public comment by contacting our clerk's office by 5 p.m. on the Thursday before this meeting. And they also have an opportunity to provide brief comments either by phone or Zoom or in person during the meeting. I will now call our meeting of Public Works and Safety Standing Committee to order and ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Roll call. Groneman. Here. Kane. Here. Markley. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Ramirez.
Here.
Bynum.
Here. We do not have any revisions to our meeting tonight, and our first item is March minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the minutes from March of 2022. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Groneman. Kane. Markley. Aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Ramirez.
Aye.
Bynum.
Aye.
Vote is 6-0.
Thank you. The minutes are approved. We have one and only committee agenda item tonight. We have a presentation on entry-level driver training, and I think we have Jeff Miles here, our fleet manager. Are you the main presenter? I was wondering if anybody else was able to show up. All right. Well, come on forward. And this is a presentation by our Public Works Department, and it's regarding additional training requirements when folks are trying to obtain a commercial driver's license. So, Mr. Miles, thanks for being here. And if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and introduce your team and we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you for this opportunity. When we go through the presentation, each of them is going to tell their name and the division they're at. We have many divisions and departments here tonight. So got a slide per committee member that's very educational. We're really proud of this opportunity. So again, I'm Jeff Miles. I'm with Public Works. I'm excited for this presentation. This is a great example of utilizing the talent from within our organization to unify a valuable need and save unbudgeted cost. A commercial driver's license, a CDL, is required by law for drivers in streets, transit, parks, water pollution control, and fleet. These essential workers help clear the roads of snow and ice for public safety to do their jobs. They clean sewers to protect the environment. They transport community members, and they repair and maintain our infrastructure that all city departments rely on. Go towards the front one here. Can you bring it to the first slide for me? I knew that sitting here, this slide, right? It's all right. There we go. Thank you. So when the 2022 UG budget was constructed and approved, none of us had any idea that the federal government would implement a new and expensive driver training program to obtain a CDL. As residents and employees, we know you commissioners have a difficult job to balance the budget. I'm confident after this presentation, you'll trust we're doing everything we can at this level to stretch the budget dollar even further. Adding the financial benefit to all of Wyandotte County, we've offered this new program to the teams at the City of Bonner Springs, the City of Edwardsville, as well as BPU, which has designed their own internal driving program. I'm honored to hand off the floor this all-star committee that has a combined 125 years of UG experience. Joe?
All right, good evening. My name is Joseph Hall. I'm the safety training officer out at Water Pollution Control. We kind of wanted to start off giving you kind of a background of how we brought this committee together and some of the rule changes that forced us to do this. So beginning February 7th, 2022, all new drivers were required to follow updated Department of Transportation Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration rules. That is a rulemaking committee for the Department of Transportation that it has its own committee that promotes rule changes, advisory role, et cetera. What they came up with was that all new drivers that get trained after that date are going to have a classroom and behind the wheel training section that they have to comply with. So we could do the classroom. It could also be computer-based training for that section. The second section was a closed course behind the wheel training. And this required, like I said, a closed area off of public roads for us to be able to train our drivers. They also instituted a new computer tracking website they called the Trainer Provider Registry. And that's basically a website where we can upload our employees' trainings. And then they are able to look at it and make sure that we've completed all the sections that they put in. So to explain more of that, pass it off to Irvin.
Hello, everybody. My name's Irvin Jackson. I am the Operations General Superintendent of Public Transportation. So in the fall of 2021, a committee was formed with the following departments: Fleet Maintenance, Parks and Rec, Public Works, Water Pollution, and the UG Public Transportation. So we meet every Tuesday and Thursdays. We've also met with the City of Olathe to see how their training program operated. So out of that, our committee came up with our own program, and we set up a training course at 4th in Minnesota. That's where we do our behind the wheel training. So as a committee, we believe that we're the only municipality in the metro area. One of the metro municipalities in the area to take on this challenge by doing in-house training. So with that being said, I'll pass this on to Lance Lavender.
Good evening, committee. I'm Lance Lavender, Public Works Liaison for Emergency Management and Public Works Safety Officer.
Lance, pull your microphone a little closer, thanks.
I'm Lance Lavender, Public Works Liaison for Emergency Management and Public Works Safety Officer. I have the privilege of telling you about some of the costs and time savings this great committee did for the unified government. External training was approximately $5,800 per trainee. Lost time of work from the employees was 30 to 45 days for outside training. We expect the cost increases because of the high demand for this training. In fact, it did. So we're having 5 employees go to this outside training. It will cost us $29,000. I'll pass over to Serena Lopez, who will tell you more about the cost and time savings.
Good evening, Serena Lopez, Fleet Division. Our committee's goal was to design a program that will provide an efficient and cost-effective training tool that will make our drivers more efficient, safer to themselves and to the public. We have succeeded that by designing our own UG CDL driving training program that saves money and is an excellent recruitment and retention tool. Internally, we'll spend only $149 each driver versus $5,800. That is the cost charged in an outside program. We provide on-site classroom educations and behind-the-wheel training in the actual vehicle. They will be performing their services in our community. The driver's trainer is a seasoned veteran whom they will work with in the department once they graduate. Our program has already saved $20,357 to date. This unbudgeted cost would have taken further services away from our community. I will now pass it on to Sir Shad.
Good evening. Sir Shad with Operations Supervisor for Parks and Rec Department. With our team success, we have 5 employees that were trained with 100% passing rate in class and behind the wheel, totaling 3 completed licenses. With each department who requires CDL, 2 employees with permits are ready to complete their final stages of the course and receive their CDLs, which consists of Class A, B, and passenger. Further along, I'll pass this on to Randy Hand to conclude our last slide.
Good evening, Randy Hand with Fleet Services. With everything this committee has shared this evening, I'd like to summarize. We have designed an internal training program that compares to the private sector, such as Amazon, FedEx, and UPS. We created an employee recruitment and retention tool that will make it easier to find new team members and transfers from within the unified government. We are meeting and exceeding the new federal motor vehicle safety standards DOT requirements. We're maximizing productivity by having team members perform city services while training. We are helping keep our roads safer with trained CDL drivers. We are saving a substantial cost today and into the future. Thank you for your time, and I'll hand it back over to Jeff.
Thank you. As you can tell how proud we are of this committee. They were handed something that no other cities at the time, with the exception of City of Olathe, was doing. They did their homework. They meet. They're very diligent of what the plan that they came up with, ultimately where there's a value. I think a big point of this as well is that, as a lot of you guys know, we took a poll today between all of our divisions, departments. We're over 50 positions down right now. So you add to that this extra CDL training that would be required, we would lose new employees for an additional 45 days before they ever did anything in our community. So one of their goals was to do the training in-house. And not only are they training while they're driving, but they're learning about their job as well. So the other thing I wanted to share is I think it's a great example of empowering the team members that we have on staff. Again, they took this opportunity, met week in and week out, and really built a nice little culture and merged a lot of our division departments to a common goal. And extremely proud of them for that. Lastly, we just wanted to thank our leaders, Jeff Fisher, Justice Welker, Angel Orbit, Jack Webb, Vince Bellacci, and especially Dave Reno for helping us with this presentation. Looks so professional. So he couldn't make it tonight, but we got to give him a shout out. So with that being said, we'd love to answer any questions you might have.
Commissioner Kane?
I just have a comment. Only worked in safety for 21 years. And I'm a firm believer that people listen to the people that work here. So if we could do it with this, I think there's other programs we could do the exact same thing. And it's a lot better. They don't have to go out of town. They don't have to pay for hotels. They don't have to do any of that extra stuff. You could do it here and learn while you're doing it. So I think it's great. And I think there's other projects you can do the exact same thing on.
Thank you. Commissioner Markley?
Thank you. Thank you all for being here tonight and for the work that you do every day, and especially for the work on this committee. It's just an amazing example of what our folks can do. And Jeff, I think you said words similar to stretch every dollar. You are the king of stretching our every dollar, and we recognize it and we appreciate it. So thanks for all you do for us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I feel like I want to see every slide again, because I want to repeat back, for purposes of folks hearing this again, what you just brought us. And what I heard was made aware of a new requirement, which was a problem potentially, and you collaborated and you communicated and you innovated and you problem solved. And the entire time that you were doing that, you found a way to save a substantial amount of taxpayer money and get to the same exact result that was needed. And it's impressive.
Thank you.
And I can't say it enough. So when we talk about those dollars you didn't spend so that we can spend them elsewhere, it's just a continuation of what I hope you believe is the partnership between Public Works and our commissioners, and the work that we're doing right now to get you more dollars in your budget to address the things that our community has told us over and over and over again they want. So I hope you see it the same way, or are on your way to seeing it that way. And it's just highly impressive. And we know that employees like this are all throughout our Public Works Department. At least that's my opinion. So we know that what you've brought forward here is a good representation of the really good people working every day in our Public Works Division. Commissioner Ramirez.
Thank you, Commissioner Bynum. Thank you, Jeff, to all of the departments who worked on this. This is, echo everyone, everything that everyone has said. It's a testimony that it can work. It can happen if departments just work together, break down those silos and work together to find those efficiencies, find those cost savings. It can work, but we just have to put the work in. And so I thank you for doing that. Public Works is, as Commissioner Markley said, you stick to the budget you're given and you make sure that what you give, you can give the best service out. So I do thank you for that. Thank you, Jeff, and all of the departments who worked on this. I hope this is something that other departments see and that they can work to implement something like this within their own programs, their own services. Have that inward look. So thank you for all that you do. It does not go unnoticed.
Thank you.
Commissioner Johnson and then Commissioner Kane.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Jeff, thank you for two things that really stuck out to me. One, teamwork. And I can't say that enough. That is something that speaks dearly to me, to have your line managers here talking with us so that we know who they are. When we hear the names dropped, we don't necessarily we're not always able to put a face to a name. I'm just wondering, are the folks back those work? Why don't you all stand up and if you work for Jeff or
Parks, Transit, everybody that's here to support the.
Oh, everybody. Okay. Hey, yeah, let's give them a hand. I really do appreciate that, this style, because and also in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking is, what's the ask? What were you going to ask? And you did not ask. You told us where you were able to save some costs. These are the conversations that we're having during the budget season. And I hear our mayor talking about cost savings and things of that nature. This right here is what we call a case study on how to do that. And so again, I applaud you. I applaud your staff, Jeff Fisher back there, applaud your leadership as well. And all the managers, you've done a great job. And if we can, I'm just going to pile on, if we can figure out how to replicate this throughout our departments, Commissioner Bynum, I think we would really find some real cost savings there. So thank you for the space. Thank you again.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much. And I will ask the clerk if anyone online or from the public has a comment to make.
No comments were received, no hands raised.
Thank you very much. Anyone in person here that would like to address the item? All right, so information only item, no vote required from us. You solved your own problems and we appreciate you, all of you, taking the time to come and be with us tonight. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for trusting us. Thank you.
We have two public comment appearances on our agenda tonight. The first appearance is by Kristen Fornell Higbee, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. And is Ms. Higbee present in person or online?
She's not online.
And I don't see her stepping forward to the microphone either.
Commissioner, we contacted her. She never confirmed.
Okay, so I would just ask that we contact her again and allow her time in September if she is available for that date. Thank you very much. We had a second item this evening that Mr. Bruce Draper is going to speak to discuss police, fire, sheriff, public safety. Reverend Draper, if you would state your name and city of residency, and you have up to 3 minutes for your comments. Thank you very much, sir. Is your microphone on?
Now it is.
All right, great.
Pastor Bruce Draper, and I actually live in Shawnee, but I have been a pastor here for a long time. And I am representing Churches United. And one of our 2 proposals that we are making to the unified government this year. Churches United for Justice is a Wyandotte faith-based ecumenical cause made up of 18 plus congregations of various faiths and still growing. I come before you today as one of nearly 600 members who are anxious for positive change in Wyandotte County. Group Violence Intervention, GVI, previously known as Operation Ceasefire, is a proven crime reduction strategy that has been recognized by the Department of Justice and replicated in over 30 cities. When followed through with fidelity, it has proven to reduce violent crime in cities by as much as 60%. GVI reduces homicide and gun violence. It minimizes the harm to communities by replacing incarceration with deterrence. And it fosters stronger relationships between law enforcement and the people they serve. We believe that the National Network on Safe Communities, NNSC, has found a viable solution in that of GVI. The strategy for the change has 3 main components. 1, community members delivering a credible message over violence. 2, law enforcement notifying violent groups of consequences for groups if violent behavior continues. And 3, support and outreach providers extending genuine help for those that wish to receive their services. In 2018,
1 minute remaining.
in 2018, there were 35 homicides, 2019, 39 here, 2020, 58, 2021, 51, and currently in 2022, we are sitting at 27. I think maybe there's a couple more. How many more will it take until we can agree to break the status quo? The first step is to hire the National Network on Safe Communities to conduct a thorough problem analysis of assets and group violence in Wyandotte County. That's a $100,000 service. The NNSC has stated that Wyandotte qualifies for grants that would cover nearly 95% of this expense. Many times you and I have found it, even professionally, we can miss some key points when it comes to listening to our constituents. As you've mentioned and experienced from this year's budget process, you know the value of outside independent vision and expertise, and that's what we're proposing here. With this, we're presenting our solution as a united community of voices.
Your time has expired.
Could I have a motion to extend?
I have a sentence and a half.
Okay.
I'm racing.
Go for it.
Okay, with this, we are presenting our solution as a unified community of voices to see a detailed analysis of crime to truly understand where we can provide our services and lift up our marginalized communities. We want to know for certain how group violence has plagued our communities.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to come and be with us, for the commitment you've made to the congregations and to the community. Appreciate it. I know it won't be the last time we see you.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our Public Works and Safety meeting tonight. BPU Board Member Groneman, as always, thank you very much for your service to the committee. You're dismissed and the rest of us get to stay. I'll hand it over to, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I think I have to allow a motion to adjourn.
Markley, move to adjourn.
And roll call, please.
Roll call. Groneman. Kane. Markley.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ramirez.
Aye.
Bynum.
Aye. And
Vote is
now
6 to
we are
0.
adjourned. Thank you very much. I will hand it over to Commissioner Markley.
Thank you. Before I call this meeting to order, I want to announce that some committee members, staff, and the public are attending remotely via Zoom as well as on site. All participants joining by phone should mute their phones when not speaking to avoid background noise. During the meeting, please make sure you announce yourself by name and title every time you speak so the public that is observing knows who is speaking. This is critical given the number of remote participants and its current guidance from the Kansas Attorney General. The public is allowed to participate by Zoom or submit comments by email prior to the meeting, and those comments will be included in the record of this meeting. The public may also indicate their intent to provide remote public comment by contacting the clerk's office by 5 p.m. the Thursday before the meeting. The public also will have an opportunity to provide brief comments either by telephone or via Zoom from the 5th floor conference room of the municipal office building. I will now call this meeting of the Administration and Human Services Standing Committee to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Roll call. Kane. Johnson.
Here.
Ramirez.
Here.
Bynum.
Here.
Markley.
Here. There are no revisions for tonight's meeting. Our first order of business is the approval of minutes from our March 28th meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Roll call. Kane. Johnson.
Aye.
Ramirez.
Aye.
Bynum.
Aye.
Markley.
Aye, thank you. Those minutes have been approved. Committee agenda, item number 1 is a resolution closing out Neighborhood Stabilization Program, NSP3, and Wilba Miller is here to present that item.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm Wilba Miller, the Director of Community Development, and my attempt at humor is I have a combined total of 48 and a half all by myself. So anyhow, so the NSP3 program, if we have the slides up, is the primary purpose was to arrest housing decline and destabilize neighborhoods, if you all remember. This NSP3 program is unlike the NSP1 because it was focused on a specific target area to make visual impact and revitalize the neighborhood. No scattered site development was in this program. It took us 3 years to expend 100% of grant from time of signed grant agreement. And the benefit to persons and families was at least 25% of those grant funds must benefit people of 50% or of area median income families or below. The federal government allocated $1 billion, and the state of Kansas, as well as all other states, received $5 million each for each state. And we got 93% of their grant money. They kept 7% for their admin. So, and then we had some additional funding we received. So it was $5,068,000. The original target area was Quindaro Boulevard, 22nd Street to 27th Street. We did expand it down to 10th Street before we finished. The target neighborhoods were identified by a HUD mandated use of their own mapping tool. The funds would have been spent at a minimum in census tracts with a state identified foreclosure risk factor of 12, with 20 being the greatest need. And due to limited funding, we only assessed those eligible census tracts with a score of 16 or greater. Assistance must also be given to at least 20% of eligible bank-owned properties in order to have a visible and lasting impact, and the use of a market analysis technique to identify structures within identified prior areas, priority areas. The area chosen was because of the following factors. It was an approved state target area. It was a highly visible area. As you can see, it's close to the intersection of North 18th and I-635. 2008 MARC traffic study shows a daily traffic average of 80,000 cars a day for I-635 and 20,000 cars a day for 18th Street. And there are nearly 3 people entering Wyandotte County from Clay County, Missouri, for every 1 person leaving daily along 635, representing an opportunity for inward migration of out-county residents through affordable housing development. It also used a corridor development rather than an interior approach like a gateway from 635 to Quindaro Boulevard. And the analysis of realty tract foreclosure information from January to February 2011 illustrated a number of vacant land bank lots already available along Quindaro for this with high visibility. It also implemented the elements of UG land use that develop both the urban residential and indirectly strengthened future commercial development through NSP. Our original goals were acquire 29 properties, demolish 9, and redevelop 20. We ended up doing 16 new construction units. 5 units were rehabbed, with 5 new construction units added with the assistance of other federal funding for a total of 26 units. These units had energy efficiency standards, and we did local hiring priority, which was section 3. Okay. The eligible activities was acquisition and rehab, demolition and redevelopment. I said that we had the Energy Star and the job creation. And one more page here. And we also issued an RFP for a local general contractor and subcontractors who employed or hired local residents. UG did work with Youth Build and other CDBG partners to give us greater control and be more cost effective. The final slide is the type of units that we did. Households under 50%, we expended 28% of our dollars. Households over 120%, we expended 65% of our dollars. And our admin cap was 7%. So you can see 28 versus the 25 we were required to do. We did meet all standards and requirements. I asked that this same presentation be given Thursday, fast forward to Thursday, and then approve a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign the closeout documents for submission to the state. Sorry. Go ahead.
Commissioner Bynum.
Well, by the very first slide or second slide, that one. My math, I'm not a mathematician and I didn't major in math.
Okay.
But 5 million per state times 50 states is 250 million.
I don't know where they
Okay.
they just told us that that's what they did.
All right.
I'm sure some of the islands got some of the monies, they just told us every state got 50.
And so there were
$5 million.
other millions of dollars that
Probably.
went somewhere
Yes,
else, not this.
And yet, as you recall, this was all a part of that whole foreclosure
Right.
thing. And so NSP 1 was already adopted by the commission and we were finished. It was 50 some odd units across the city. And then these were, I was really proud of these. I still am, along Quindaro Boulevard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
no one
nice.
had built up there for years and years and years.
Mhm.
And some of the houses that we had, I think 2 or 3 of the houses that we rehabbed were historic. So
Commissioner, I would move that we allow Wilbur Miller to complete the closeout of the NSP 3 and we fast track this to the full commission on August 25.
Second with a comment.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I love your work. I mean, she's got it right here. Here's, this is the kind of presentation we want to see every single time. Bang, bang, bang. Here's what we did. We spent every dime we got and that's how much we got and we did it. And we appreciate what you do.
thank you so much. I
All
appreciate it.
right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Kane,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Markley.
Hi, thank you very much. And thank you, Wilba. And that concludes our meeting for this evening. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn, Bynum.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Kane,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Bynum,
Aye.
Markley.
Hi.
I think so. Well, the Thursday night I'll do
It's
it.
here. 6 o'clock.
Yes, that's here. Yeah. So, thank you. Well, I try. After that much time, if you had me and Mike Tobin and Janet Parker, we'd have a heck of a lot more time. We all have 48 years this year. And I'm at 48 and a half. So it's time for me to go.